Continuing. I need to watch that big thing start out was actually really longer. That's all. Lighthouse. I mean, if you need a lighthouse, I'd assume that it's connects that to the ocean. I don't know, pretty far to go. I'll get into the ocean. It's a dumb idea. We have a little beach set up. Where'd I come from?
Siekiera, motyka, my sąsiady biją się już 3 dekady. Siekiera, motyka, guma, ość, mam już tego pięknie dość. Siekiera, motyka, rotmarza na nie odbiera święta panna. Siekiera, motyka, bęben róg, wyparł się nas wszystek Bóg. Goring sobie pije, szlaksa, Polak wciąż dostaje klapsa. Złupić tu już nie ma co, chodź pan z nami dziś na dno.
I don't know Polish either, so I don't know what the words of that song were. But it had some Nazi names in there, so maybe something derogatory to the Nazis, or maybe something brainwashing. I don't know. I'll look it up later for myself.
Of Titans. It's a memorial. They must have died in an explosion. I saw them at recording.
Is that the only way to go? I feel like that's the only way to go. Am I just being dumb right now? If I have to cut out this part, I'll cut out this part because I might just be being dumb. Is everything high or am I just really short? No, this bench is tall as fuck next to me. So I was just being a little dumb. It's alright. Happens.
Is anyone here?
The ghosts of all the dead Nazis. Effective immediately, all the cameras in the compound are to be disabled. Until the debugging of each room takes place, all the communication that pertains to matters of production strategy, food distribution, future plans, etc. is to be conducted through written messages. For the time being, assume that all your conversations are being monitored. He's listening. So who's he? Is he the AI and it changed to female at some point?
It always amazes me how short your memories are. I walk these corridors day after day and hear the growing whispers. What if he's right? Maybe he has a point. What if, what if? Let me remind those who have forgotten. When the Battle of the Bunker ended, we went looking for German civilian survivors. None were found alive. Must I remind you why? Because the bunker's machinery had removed them from the battlefield so they wouldn't interfere with the counter-attack, only to suffocate them in one of the unventilated hangars. Is this the kind of effectiveness we're looking for? Is that the value we put on human life? I will say it once more. No! I will never allow these machines to be turned on again.
Yeah, so we're working on turning the machine back on for better or worse. The question is, how does my kid get it online? Yes. Like, I think the voice, the AI is just going to use us to do all the shit. Turn it back on. All Nazi documents are to be left untouched, despicable as they are. We will not burn them. The Nazis already burn all evidence of their atrocities on their own. We do not need to aid them. When the war finally ends, and it will end, these documents will be used to expose them and hold them to account. All the documents are to be stored in the file.
Hello? Can you hear me? It's not working. I need to find a control room.
I refuse to believe that this light still works. After how many years it's been. Because that's just a disk lamp. That's just sitting there.
Hello?
Any Nazis are still alive? Sorry, I don't know if that's a derogatory term or not Polish. Please don't leave. I knew that others were considering leaving. I just never realized you were one of them. If you go, Domenica won't let us see each other ever again. You know that she doesn't allow any of his followers to interact with us. Is his superstitious gibberish more important to you than me? When an AI is trying to kill you in a bunker, maybe they're playing some D&D. Bunch of. That door's locked. This door's locked. That door's open. That door's open. There's 2 open doors. 3 open doors. Fancy. The big open door. We'll do the big open door first. Here are the doors. Many doors to open. That's locked. What a shock. There's nothing in this room. You see other people that like stuff they can't plan. It's just supposed to get the sense of who was here at some point. I'm gonna guess that was a camera they tore it down. Painter. Transcription of Rizzard Lazy's account. I went out mushroom picking. Not that I thought I'd find any mine, but because I like wandering among the trees. So I stumbled upon a gnarled beech, looked up, and over by a clump of thistle I saw a white she-goat. A miracle, I thought, because there hasn't been a living creature to be found since we ate that last hen 10 years back. And lo and behold, a goat. Where could it have come from? Right away I thought Vels must have favored us to send a blessing like that. I walked up to it, it didn't run. It let me rope it and walked back to the settlement by my side like a dog on a leash. I went straight to the high priest to share the wonderful news. I'd hoped it'd give us milk with healing properties. So maybe they started some cult to worship the AI. Because that symbol at the top of the page is the same symbol that was on the memory thing. And the AI somehow blessed them with a goat. We'll see. I'm still saying AI. I'm still saying that's what's up. Must be the file room. Dear Herr Commandant, at the request of Wilhelm Strick, I have agreed to lead the talk about Agartha, Shambhala, Arians, Atlantis, the control of parapsychic human abilities, and research on the summoning of zombie armies. He convinced me this material will provide the necessary support for the colonists. In my youth, I took a strong interest in these topics, so I shall have plenty of material to speak on. Yet we both know, I hope, that these stories are not worth a hill of beans. I am a scientist, and I know that the strength of the German nation does not come from fairy tales, but from mental fortitude and from science. Thus, when the colonists prepare for the ultimate battle, they should draw on the accomplishments of scholars. I propose a return to a method that was tested with great success at the front, namely substance D9, or DIX, whatever. This mix of cocaine, Pervitin, a strong stimulant, and Eucodal, a strong painkiller, transforms common men into super soldiers. It provides a significant boost to concentration, endurance, strength, and courage, and self-confidence. It also disables pain receptors while stifling hunger, thirst, and the need for sleep. It has side effects, yet in the deciding moment they are no important. So we didn't go for Wolfenstein. It's all good. To Wilhelm Strick. Dear Willie, I know you do not need anyone to tell you how to do your job, but I would like to alert you to a problem. I have received reports that despite my constant guidance and instruction, many people still do not understand the concept of the colony. Some fear being locked up underground, or even that those left on the surface will have it better. If I were to prune away all such doubters, I would lose half the settlers, the would-be strength of this colony. So I hit upon an idea. Perhaps we could, in some undemanding way, share with our colonists the history of the Aryans and the Atlanteans from whom we descend. After all, if our ancestors could thrive after losing their homeland, we too can emerge from our ordeal, defeat our enemies, and bring about the rebirth of the Great Germany. With your storytelling talent, this tale would surely soften the hearts of doubters and calm frayed nerves. What do you think? So, that's cool. Okay. One guy wanted to make Wolfenstein, the other guy just wanted to do what the Nazis actually did. I mean, yeah, sure, some of the Nazis researched occultism and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't like what they made in other games. Any German occupier still hiding in the shelter is to be sought, put on trial, and sentenced for their crimes. This includes civilians, workers, and of course military personnel. This goes for any Polish collaborators as well. Dominika Wasiuk. I'm not good with Polish names, I don't know how to say it.
It must be a key to the locked doors.
If you say so. You found the blue key card. What the fuck is this?
What was that?
Oh no, it all worked once. Order request. I am writing to you again to request permission to use the Nazi technology. People are starving. We can't continue to live in the dark like this. How many more women will have to suffer miscarriages before you see things clearly? I will write to you every single day until you realize that there is no other way. Lucy. So some of this is after the Polish Revolution inside a German bunker. Or some of them wanted to use the German things and other people didn't. Man, my fingers. Here. Keycard and whatever secret. Some. Somewhere. Wasn't there? Tore down all the cameras in this section. So I can't just follow wires there. Or was it this bookcase right behind me and I was just blind for a second? Can I touch anything besides that? This is the singer. With two kids. And Greta Mueller. Some RFID cards. Nazi German.
Processing power is at least 50,000 times greater than that of the Americans' ENIAC. Its construction employs newly discovered methods of neural communication, sustained by faint electrical impulses and the activation of normally unused parts of the Gehirns. What's Gehirns? Gehirn. Here it is. Gehirn. What? That can't be.
There's a brain. So it's an AI tapped into a living person. It's gonna be like what they want the GLaDOS to be. The GLaDOS wasn't. Dominica, fine. I will leave. Anyone who wants to join me is welcome to do so. But to those who choose to stay, I ask, where do you draw the line? You are happy to reap the rewards, but unwilling to pay the proper respects. You ignore the divine powers that gave you these luxuries. If you decide to bow your heads to the gods that made this all possible, come with me. Whoosh. So they split groups into a cult or whatever. Another control room, and she's not here, so yeah, it's the fucking AI. Excuse me. To the house for the AI. That's what I'm still going with.
Okay, let's see if bidirectional communication is working. Clearly not. We'll have to find a workaround. What if... I know it's not ideal, but given the circumstances, this will have to do for now. I'd like you to press the button, if you can hear me. Dobrze. Let's try another experiment, shall we? As I suspected, this won't be straightforward. There's some sort of safeguard blocking my input. This makes no sense. Why build a huge machine with this much computing power and then make it impossible for the operator to use it? Unless it doesn't want me to make any changes. It wants you to make them. I just tried to access the part of the system. Can you enable it? That's it. It worked. Okay, let's not waste any more time. You always said you wanted your own garden someday. What do you feel like planting?
Corn, less, prolongus. I don't know what stealth is.
Remember, we must be careful not to overwater the crops. What's happening? We must have initiated the automated calibration cycle. It's overloading the system. Remember, we prepared for this. We need to disable some of these processes before... You have to authorize its change. I can only request them for you. Now, disable them as quickly as possible. That's it. Now for the next one. You're doing great. It's no use.
Make sure it's not click, it's going down. What if I don't click? Yeah, something happens, I guess I have to click.
That's it. We're turning it off. Jasna cholera. It won't let me.
Yeah, so you gotta hook you. Actually, had to hook up somebody he liked to the computer. And it's about to kill her because it overloaded.
Is that you? Say something.
He turned it on.
Turn what on? What are you talking about?
That machine, he turned it on. I don't think he's supposed to do that.
Who cares? I haven't heard from you since that jump. Do you know how worried I was? Are you alright? Well?
I'm fine.
Then why didn't you say so? Where are you? I haven't seen you on my monitors.
Lucian used to live here.
The man you've been looking for. Wait, so you found the living quarters. Good. According to my map, they are on level 3. I'll try to find you with the cameras. I don't want to lose sight of you anymore. Do you understand? We need to stay focused, okay? Please tell me you...
Okay.
Fucking bossy, yeah.
My name's Eva. I thought you should know.
My name is Shimon.
Nice to meet you, Shimon. I'm sorry if I came across as cold before. After we talked, I realized how selfish it was of me to expect you to make that stupid jump. My first thought was to scream out your name to stop you, but then I realized that I don't even know what it is. So, I'm sorry. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
It's okay. Everything is fine. I will find you. And then we will figure this all out.
Thank you, Shimon.
I'll trust you. It's a fucking it's every fucking sci-fi trope is there. That's what it's gonna do. If it's not, if it's not what I think, I'll be surprised. It does have good atmosphere. It looks interesting.
According to my map, this is the northernmost part of the bunker. But I can't see anything. Most of the cameras have been disabled.
Yes,
I'd love to see how the German aliens leave it. I bet it's glamorous. Is this thing even on? Shimon, is that you? I can hear your footsteps.
I'm here.
Okay. I think there's a working camera in here. It's so dirty I can barely see a thing.
I can try cleaning it.
Really? That would be great. Find something to help you clean the camera.
Oops.
It works. Wow, what big eyes you have. Now you should say, oh, that better to see you with. Do you know that story? Moral is you shouldn't trust strangers because they'll eat you. But I promise not to eat you if that makes you feel better. Whoa, this place is a mess. Wait, what's that at the end of the balcony? Who'd have thought that Poles wouldn't keep things as tidy as Germans?
Put his legs up. His kidneys are starting to fail. There is not much we can do for him now.
Serious? You know that?
I'm too tired to have that discussion again.
What do you want from them? To pray their problems away? It hasn't helped them so far.
Oh, that was horrific. I don't even know what to say.
do I feel bad for the AI? I don't feel it. Settlement office. I'm looking at the dietary recommendations for the biocomponents created by the settlement officer, Miss Sieglin Huber. I found this part particularly amusing. Brain development is highly dependent on essential unsaturated fatty acids, EUFA. A natural source of EUFA is fish, seafood, or seaweed such as algae. Does Miss Sieglin Huber realize that her recommendations are laughable? If not, could you please give her that message? So we need brain functionality. Because we hooked a live human up to the computer and we're using them for the AI. With the live humans actually under control. I don't know. We'll figure it out. One of those two scenarios. Go this way, or do I want to go back to the other one and try the door? Click on it. Incredible Park, March 18th, 96. Monday, 46 went, 43 came back, 3 people. 43 went, 42 came back, 1 people. 42 went, 36 came back, negative 6 people. Or just 6 people. 36 went, 24 came back, 12 people. 22 went, 17 came back, 5 people. If this continues, then I guess we're fine. So it became Soylent Green, and you know, you're eating people. No devotional or ritualistic objects are permitted in the shelter. You can anonymously surrender any such objects in this room. If you are found with any in your possession, you will be charged with treason. Earl. When they cheated us during the food distribution, that should have been the last straw. It was naive to think that they could still be reasoned with. I don't think anyone has any more doubts. We strike at noon. Remember, these people no longer resemble the people you once knew. He's brainwashed them. Don't pity them. They wouldn't afford you the same kindness. So the Polish beat the Nazis, and then the Polish fought each other. I mean, there's no bodies or anything anywhere. Why not? Or skeletons or bones or anything.
Hey, I was getting lonely, so I figured I'd call you. I hope you don't mind.
Did you say your name was Eva?
Yes, that's right.
So you have the same name as that thing?
Could you please not compare me to a lifeless machine? Besides, Eva is spelled E-W-A, not E-V-E. I thought we agreed to trust each other.
I do trust you, I'm sorry.
I have an idea. Each of us says something about themselves. Something personal. I'll start. I was born in Krakow, but I spent most of my life living in a small village in the mountains. My dad is sort of a pastor. I was always really impressed by how he managed to inspire his
So your
people.
dad's Lucian.
But I never got to meet my mom.
He put his daughter in the...
Your turn. Remember something personal.
And if you think that that's my father, then that means that he was my sister.
My mom passed away recently.
They separated us.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And now you're looking for the man in the
So
picture.
the AI is my
Did
sister.
he know your mom?
I think so.
I understand now. Thank you for telling me that. It couldn't have been easy.
I should keep going.
Right. Thanks for the chat, Shimon. Talk to you later.
So Lucian was both our dads. He stuck her in the machine for whatever reason. My mom was part of the other side and escaped with me, and I'm her brother. So, yeah. Fun. That's all the signs I'm getting. That's where it seems like it's pointing us. So that's what I'm assuming. So, if I'm wrong, I'll be shocked. Some stuff. I mean, I 100% at this point want to restore the AI. Right, so.
Can you let me out of here?
Sure, just give me a second to find you on the monitors.
I found another Eve memory tube.
We don't need to play it. The system doesn't seem to require it.
What if I want to?
Why would you want to? Has anything good come from digging up the past? So far, it's all been stories of destruction and betrayal.
I found the man I'm looking for in one of these recordings.
I'd rather you didn't waste our time with another memory tube. You know my opinion, do what you want.
I want to play it.
I can't stop you, can I?
Just gonna figure it out. I already know. Just trying to stop me with slow loading times.
At this rate, we should be able to leave the bunker in a couple of months. That is, if we choose. Huh? Answer it.
Lucian, we need to talk.
Well, this certainly is a surprise. To To what do I owe the pleasure, Dominica?
I want to negotiate.
No. As I've already told you, the situation is simple. We split the food 3 ways. You get a third, we get a third, and the rest will be given as an offering to the gods. If it weren't for their guidance, we wouldn't have found the food to begin with. We must pay our respects.
Fine.
Fine.
We'll split the food 3 ways, but on one condition. You take down those turrets.
I'll take them down. Eventually. If you keep your end of the bargain for the next 2 months, then I'll agree to remove them. Think of it as a grace period.
If you want production to continue, then you need to take them down. Now.
The thing is, Dominica, I need you less than you might think. Come back when you've come to your senses.
Wait. Let's not make any hasty decisions. I'm sure we can come to an understanding, Lucian.
What's happening? Deactivated? She tricked us. I don't know what you're...
You'll find out soon enough. But I can promise this won't end well for you.
Find her! Get those turrets back online quickly. Show me the map. They're already on their way. They mustn't get across the bridge, do you understand? Hold them back.
I don't want to. What if I just sit here? The game's gonna kill me. I mean, I know it's not real time, just recording, so I guess I have to.
It's not working. We have to blow it up. We have to blow up the bridge, do you understand? There is no other way. If we don't, all of this will have been for nothing. The turrets are back online. Authorize the use of lethal force. Make sure no one's on the bridge when it explodes. What have you done? You still don't understand how any of this works, do you? I didn't want this. I didn't want any of this. You made me do this.
No, you're a fucking religious psychopath. So, that's our picture. So the church on this side, I'm going to assume that they would tap from that side of that. So we have to keep this side. I've been trying to go this way. Sometimes when they say they're livestock, but it's a cow or something. Different than people. I was thinking, all the shit happened. There has to be bodies or something like that. Is this blood, maybe? That goat, there was something odd. What do you mean odd? Had horns, a tail, a goat like a man? Or did you see what it did? Goat things stood around. Exactly. Stood in the grass and didn't even take a bite. Maybe it wasn't hungry. I reset the bullshit. Have you ever seen a goat that wasn't hungry? That's like a calf with two heads. Don't you remember how in 43 the Schlosssex goat ate all our grass in the yard? Then ate your belt too and you had to truss your trousers up with twine? You don't act like you don't know goats never stop eating. I'm telling you, something with that goat ain't right. Well, it's a miracle. Maybe miracle goats are more particular about what they eat. You will fool you believe anything. If some pretty young thing lifted her skirt for you, you'd think it was true to life and not the 6 pounds of dried meat in the larder.
Can you see this?
No, where are you?
It looks like a food processing factory.
I can't.
Eva? 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 Can you hear me? I thought I was going to die. I need to tell you something. You saved my life, and not just now. When my mom passed away, I didn't think I could carry on alone. There was no one, nothing left for me to live for. I tried looking for Lucian because I needed someone to be there for me. But that someone was you, not him.
My sister.
I have a goal now. I'm going to find you.
Try to pass him. According to the settlement office, we was flagged with 200 tons of spell no later than on 3/1/1960. No such delivery has been made thus far. This is an urgent matter. I expect a prompt response. Response. Your request has been noted. The delay is due to the unfathomable stupidity of Polish bandits. They wanted to blow up an SS outpost, but their explosives exploded prematurely, destroying a nearby storage facility that was holding spell in efforts of Lindorf. We will supply you with spell as soon as possible. Spell like fertilizer. People have gone completely fucking nuts with this whole faith of the ancestors thing. They want to make sacrifices. We don't have enough food to just be tossing it away so the gods may feast. We need to think of something that will satisfy the gods but keep the offering intact. There has to be a fire, otherwise they won't buy it. And when I throw something on it, the flame should spurt up. Maybe some kind of LED thing. I think I saw some lights somewhere. Just have to keep the dolts away from the sacrificial fire or they'll catch on. The hallowed tree should be a good spot for making sacrifices. There needs to be a hole behind the fire with a photovoltaic cell hooked up to a circuit so it sends an impulse that increases the flame. Underneath there can be a container for the sacrifices, which will go right back to the storehouse. Damn, if I knew I ended up being forced to meddle with electronics, I'd never have decided to become a priest. So if that wasn't the guys, was just coming here, but was that to full mission, or was that to fuck with the